The platform itself was a phantom, appearing and disappearing with unsettling regularity. Its IP addresses masked by layers of proxies, its servers rumored to be scattered across continents, existing in a perpetual state of digital illusion. Access was a privilege, not granted but earned, requiring a specific, almost arcane string of code, a digital skeleton key that unlocked a Pandora's box of unspeakable content. For those who found their way through the digital labyrinth, it was a descent into a curated hellscape, a place where the rules of the real world held no sway, and the only law was that of the highest bidder, the most depraved viewer. The broadcasts of Survival of the Fittest were not merely streamed, they were experienced. The audio was a meticulously crafted symphony of terror, laced with distorted echoes, guttural whispers, and the chilling static that preceded or followed moments of extreme duress. Visuals were equally deliberate, often presented with a grainy, almost analog quality, as if to mimic the forbidden allure of old banned snuff films, yet infused with a digital sheen that hinted at a far more sophisticated, far more sinister production. The framing was always tight, focusing on the raw, unadulterated fear etched on the unwilling participants' faces, forcing the viewer into an uncomfortably intimate, voyeuristic position. The anonymity of the dark web was the fertile ground upon which Pinky and Blue cultivated their macabre spectacle. Here, the identities of the creators were as nebulous as the digital ether they inhabited. No official company, no public statements, no traceable origin. They were ghosts in the machine, their presence felt through the terror they orchestrated, and the cult that began to coalesce around their twisted vision. This cult was not one of shared belief in a deity, but a collective obsession with the raw spectacle of human suffering, a morbid curiosity that found its ultimate expression in the suffering of others. The followers of Pinky and Blue were a diverse, yet strangely unified demographic. They were the disaffected, the jaded, the ones who had consumed every extreme reality show, every graphic horror film, and still found themselves yearning for something more. They were the digital voyeurs, the armchair sadists, the thrill seekers who found a perverse sense of control in observing absolute helplessness. They communicated in encrypted chat rooms, their conversations laced with jargon about viewing numbers, participant performance, and the increasingly outlandish bets they placed on the lives of strangers. They debated the merits of different elimination methods, not with disgust, but with the detached analysis of professional gamblers dissecting the odds. This burgeoning community was a testament to a modern societal malaise, an obsession with fame and the extreme that had long been brewing. Reality television had paved the way, normalizing the exposure of private lives for public consumption. Influencer culture had further blurred the lines, turning everyday existence into a curated performance for clicks and likes. Survival of the Fittest was the logical, terrifying conclusion of this trajectory, taking the commodification of human experience to its absolute, brutal extreme. It wasn't just about witnessing hardship. It was about seeing the complete disintegration of a human being under unimaginable pressure, a process dissected, debated, and profited from in the digital shadows. The cult surrounding Pinky and Blue grew not through explicit recruitment, but through a self-selecting mechanism, a gravitational pull towards the extreme. Each broadcast, each elimination, each daring escape or agonizing demise was a breadcrumb leading more desperate souls into their digital web. They developed their own slang, unwritten rules of engagement, and rituals of anticipation and post-broadcast analysis. The platform's anonymity fostered a sense of collective identity, a shared secret that bound them together in their voyeuristic pursuit. They were no longer just viewers. They were participants in a global, illicit game, their engagement measured in the speed of their clicks and the fervor of their online discussions. The very nature of the dark web provided the perfect cloak for such an operation. Law enforcement agencies, while capable of navigating the surface web, often found themselves outmaneuvered by the dark web's sophisticated encryption and decentralized infrastructure. For Pinky and Blue, this meant a degree of impunity that fueled their ambition. They operated in a realm where traditional justice systems were either non-existent or woefully inadequate. The content they produced was designed to be so disturbing, so taboo, that even if discovered, the sheer psychological impact on investigators could be as debilitating as the trauma inflicted upon the victims. The whispers of survival of the fittest began subtly. Encrypted forum posts hinted at a new form of entertainment, something real, something that tested the limits. Early broadcasts were brief, experimental, showcasing fleeting glimpses of desperation, quickly pulled before any substantial traction could be gained or traced. But the allure of the forbidden, the promise of witnessing something truly raw and unfiltered, was a potent intoxicant. Each stolen glimpse, each fragmented clip shared through secure channels, only served to whet the appetite of those already predisposed to such darkness. The increasing popularity of the survival of the fittest broadcasts was a chilling reflection of a society increasingly desensitized to violence and suffering. A society that craved novelty and intensity. A society that, in its relentless pursuit of distraction, was becoming desensitized to the very humanity it claimed to cherish. The dark web, with its inherent lack of accountability, provided the perfect crucible for this obsession to fester and grow, giving rise to entities like Pinky and Blue, who understood that the most lucrative commodity in the digital age was not information, but pure, unadulterated fear. The digital dark, once a space for illicit commerce and the exchange of forbidden knowledge, was rapidly transforming into an arena for the ultimate spectacle of human despair, broadcast live and with a cult following that grew with every scream. The screen flickers to life, a kaleidoscope of neon pink and electric blue. The audio crackles, a jarring static that quickly resolves into a saccharine, yet deeply unsettling feminine lilt.
Oh, hello, my darling little viewers. Can you hear us? Can you feel the delicious dread bubbling up inside? It's me, your ever so charming Pinky, and joining me, as always, is my utterly divine co-host.
A mischievous giggle, distorted to sound like a low, rumbling male voice, cuts through the air.
Indeed, Pinky, the joy of the internet, where we can spread our boundless benevolence to the masses. Though I suspect for this particular broadcast, benevolence might be a rather elastic term.
The setting, revealed in stark detail, is a stark contrast to the vibrant costumes. The hub, as it's ominously called, is a cavernous studio packed with humming servers, a palpable heat radiating from the machinery, yet mitigated by a surprisingly robust cooling system.
Oh, Blue, you wound me. We're not maleficent, we're simply curators of the human experience. And what a wonderfully fragile experience it is. Wouldn't you agree?
Pinky taps the orb of fear with the chattering teeth of their gag-mouth cane. The sound is a cascade of dry clicks and sneers, amplified and distorted, making the air itself seem to vibrate with mockery.
Indeed. Speaking of fragile experiences, Pinky, have you perused the naming machine's latest selections? Such delightful specimens of potential. I do hope we haven't been too harsh this month.
Blue gestures towards the naming machine with a flourish. On its main screen, a list of names scrolls rapidly, interspersed with cryptic symbols and regional identifiers.
Harsh? Darling, harsh is for amateurs. We merely provide opportunities for growth, for self-discovery, for that absolutely delicious scream of primal terror. And this month, our little lambs are in for a treat. Thanks to our ever-so-generous master Agra, we have access to a rather exclusive selection of contestants.
A swirling vortex of smokeless fire appears for a fleeting moment in the corner of the screen, a silent acknowledgement of Agra's presence.
Ah, yes, Agra. Such guidance. Though, if I may be so bold, Pinky, while you are so keen on the torment, I do believe a touch of reward is in order for our chosen few this time. A little sprinkle of hope before the inevitable deluge of despair. It's all about balance, you see.
Blue's voice takes on a softer, almost melodic tone. They reach into their silken robes and pull out a shimmering candy cane-striped object. It glows with an ethereal light.
Oh, Blue, you're so sentimental. But fine, fine. A little ray of sunshine to blind them before we plunge them into eternal darkness. Just remember, the rules are the rules, and Agra's rules are immutable.
The camera shifts to a montage of clips. Zeus polishing a crossbow, Poseidon lounging by an indoor pool, Hades emerging near a fiery chariot, intercut with muffled panicked voices and frantic keyboard clicks from the discordant forum.
And as our chosen contestants arrive, we shall be offering them a rather exclusive preview of the luxury that awaits. A little taste of what could be before we snatch it all away. They'll meet our champions, our esteemed hunters, and perhaps, just perhaps, they might even catch a glimpse of the true power that lies behind the curtain.
Pinky winks at the camera, the gag-mouth cane clatters again. Blue picks up a sleek tablet, the screen illuminates, showing a young woman nervously pacing.
Oh, look, our first guest, so full of potential, and such a delightful fear of confined spaces. How utterly charming. Pinky, perhaps a little encouragement.
Encouragement? Darling, we're about to give her a masterclass in existential dread. Let's just see what the orb has to say about her little phobias.
Pinky taps the orb of fear again. The flickering images coalesce, showing the woman trapped in a shrinking elevator, the walls closing in, her screams muffled. The orb pulses with a malevolent glee.
A commendable display of anxiety. Pinky, remember our little agreement? If she shows resilience, perhaps a small boon.
Resilience? Blue, you're practically giving away the farm. But fine. Let's see if she's worth my precious magic candy cane. Though I doubt it. Most of these plebs are utterly predictable.
Pinky gestures with the gag-mouth cane, the chattering teeth seeming to synchronize with the woman's ragged breaths. The scene fades, leaving the viewer with lingering chill and anticipation. If you would like to continue the journey, check out ljtemple.com and check out Sneak Peek. You're welcome.